Welcome to Sundays with Amber. I'm Amber, and for today's practice, you will need 2 blocks, a blanket, and a strap. So either lie down and make yourself comfortable or come to a comfortable seated position. The reading today is from the book The Yamas and Niyamas by Deborah Adele. Because of its marriage to nonviolence, truth has a fluidity about it. In one situation, truth shows up boldly and courageously, as when we do a tough intervention on a loved one who is faltering under alcoholism. In another situation, truth shows up in the most gentle way, as when we heap praise upon a young child's diligent artwork. Both of these examples show the different flavor that the practice of truth takes when it is partnered with the love of nonviolence. The compassion of nonviolence keeps truthfulness from being a personal weapon. It asks us to think twice before we walk around mowing people down with our truth and then wonder where everyone went. The fluidity of truth also requires that we clean our lens and periodically get new glasses with which to observe the world. Our seeing is limited by all the groups that shape us as well as by our experience. What we believe, whether we are aware of that belief or not, informs everything we do and every choice we make. To be a bold person of truth is to constantly look for what we are not seeing and to expose ourselves to different views than the ones we hold sacred. For me, this is what the yoga practice is. We get on our mat and we move our bodies and we connect to our breath so that we can be truth seekers, so that we can start to see the things that we have not seen before in our physical body, in our emotions, being able to really connect to how do I actually feel right now and explore that, to even our conditioned patterning that's so ingrained that we are navigating the world under this default setting. So the yoga practice helps us to see the things, the patterning, the conditioning that we haven't seen before. So in a way, we start to look, we start to change the glasses, or we start to clean the lens. Grab your blanket and make sure that it is quarter folded. So that means it's folded 4 times and it looks like this. And if you don't have a blanket, you could use pillows for this as well. If you do have the blanket, roll it up the long side, roll it up pretty tight. Make sure it's gonna stay in place and place it on your mat lengthwise. Have your blocks close by. As you lie down onto the blanket, your bottom is on your mat or whatever you're using for your mat, and then your whole spine and your head is on the blanket. So it becomes a little bit of a back bend, a chest opener. Okay, grab your blocks. Bring your feet together and your knees open into a butterfly shape, and you can support your legs with your blocks. If that doesn't feel good or you don't want to, you can push them to the side. And extend your arms out more into a T shape with your elbows resting, allowing the heads of your shoulders to soften down. Steady your gaze. You could close your eyes if you like. Just begin to notice your breath wisp across your nose on the inhale and the exhale. And then noticing your breath wisp across the back of your throat. And also noticing it rise and fall in your chest, around your heart. Deep, full breath in. And open mouth exhale. And deep, full breath in. Open mouth release. Inhale through your nose. And this time, exhale through your nose. And inhaling and exhaling through your nose in that longer quality, and taking a moment with the intention of satya, of truthfulness. How that shows up, that practice of truthfulness and what it means to be truthful, how that shows up on your yoga mat in this moment. Great. And then plant your feet, lift your knees up. You can put the blocks to the side, but have them close by. Put them to the side. Roll off of your blanket to one side, and then you'll move your blanket, come up to seated for a moment, and grab your strap so that when you come back down, you can slip the blanket under your legs, your thigh bones, lower down, and you'll have the strap with you. As you do this, hug your right knee into your chest and have that blanket pretty close towards your left sit bone, not under your glutes, really under the leg. Okay, unlasso your strap and place it around the ball mounts of your right toes and reach your right foot to the sky. You can move the foot forward to help straighten the leg. Extend your left leg long, so now the left thigh bone, and the hamstrings are pushing into the blanket. So allow that as a tool. So press down into the blanket, firm the leg, and take the straps into your right hand. Extend your left arm out into a T or a goalpost. Plug your left shoulder blade down. And as you plug the left shoulder blade down, plug the left thigh bone down. Open the right leg to the right, and you might bend your right elbow, slide your hand up the strap, and rest your elbow on the floor. And keep the pelvis more neutral to the ceiling so you're not tipping over to the right. Just take a deep breath there. Sometimes the props really help us observe our body in space. Like, oh, I didn't know that my hips like to tip to the right, but now I have this blanket here as a point of context, and I can really tell how much I have to work to keep the hips square. And how lift that leg up and switch your hands. So it's same leg, just switch your hands. Put your left hand on the strap. Dig your right thumb into your hip crease. Wrap your fingers around the outer hip. And like you're turning a knob to the right, curl your outer right hip forward. Then move your right foot to the left, maybe about a foot, maybe half a foot. Bend your right knee on the inhale. Exhale, straighten the leg and press the outer right thigh away. Again, inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, straighten the leg. Great, inhale, lift the leg up. Plant your left foot, plant your right foot, and switch. Okay, so now you'll lasso your left foot, reach it up to the sky. Extend your right leg out and firmly place the right thigh bone down, smashing that blanket. Place the straps into your left arm, extend the right arm out. As you plug the right shoulder blade, plug the right thigh bone down, open the leg to the left, and then notice, truthfully, how does this side feel in comparison to the first side? Using the postures in this way to access the ability to practice truthfulness. Where do you feel it? Inhale, lift the leg back up, switch your hands. Dig your left thumb into the hip crease, your fingers wrap around the outer hip, and then you're turning a knob to the left now. Curl the outer left hip forward. Then move your left foot, maybe about a foot at most, to the right 2 times. Inhale, bend the left knee. Exhale, straighten the leg and press the thigh bone away gently. One more. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, straighten the leg. Okay, inhale, bring the leg back up. Bend your right knee, plant the foot. Bend your left knee, plant that foot. You have 2 choices. You can use the blanket for this. Lift your hips up and now put the blanket under the hips and make sure it's even. Or you could use your block. So you can place the block on the first or second height. Okay, for the next thing that we'll do. Bend your elbows and puff your chest. Keep your head really centered. Try not to look around by moving your head here. You can maybe move your eyes. Puff the chest. Wrap your fingers if you can towards your front low ribs. If that's not comfortable, just kind of imagine. You can take your hands down as well. Imagine the front low ribs or you're touching them. If they're poking up, if you can sense that, could you bring your front low ribs a little bit in towards your body without collapsing your chest? So press the shoulder blades down and move the front low ribs towards your hip creases to engage your core. Okay, now keep that and lift your left leg up into like a half tabletop position. Front low ribs knit to the hip creases. Take a breath. And when you exhale, start to lower the left leg without splaying the ribs up. So you're really trying to use your core. Inhale, bring the leg back up. Nothing's changing in my upper body. Exhale, start to lower any amount. If you feel anything weird in the hip, don't go as low. Inhale, come up. And when you exhale, lower and plant the foot. And let's do the other side. So remember, just to check in, you're puffing your chest, but then bring the front low ribs into the body and you'll feel your core engage more. Lift the right leg up, inhale. Exhale, start to lower, but work the action of front low ribs to the hip creases. Inhale, lift the leg. Try not to splay the ribs out. Exhale, lower. Last one, inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Great. Lift your hips up on the inhale. Move the block to the side and roll down onto your back. Take your arms into a goalpost. Walk your feet wider and just on your own, gently windshield wiper your knees from side to side. It's going back and forth 2 rounds. Great. And then lift your knees up. Hug your knees to your chest. And could you control the movement through your core on the exhale? Pull the navel in, reach the legs forward as you lift up. Try not to use momentum. And then plant your feet onto the floor. Okay, now we'll use your block. And if you don't have a block, if you have some kind of ball, you can use a ball, or you can just imagine this too. So it'll still be effective. Put whatever you're gonna use on your right shin and like the top of the ankle. And then wrap the other leg on top. The knees will open out to the side just a little bit so you can really get a hold of that block. And then walk your elbows back onto the floor. Puff your chest up in that same action so your ribs aren't poking out. Knit them down into the body and lift your legs up. Squeeze the block. Knit your front low ribs to your hip creases. Take a breath. And when you exhale, start to lower the legs, but only amount that you can really keep the ribs down and use your core. Inhale, pull back up. And just one more time. Exhale, down, inhale, up. Right, exhale down, carefully come up and let's switch. Right, so both feet are down and you're placing your prop, or if you're not using a prop, you can just cross the ankle on top as well. But remember, if you're using the block, you're squeezing something, you're trying to hold something. So if you don't have the prop, imagine that you do have something. Okay, come down onto your elbows. Okay, hollow the lower belly and point the tail forward. Puff your chest up and lift your legs. Right, so you're not splaying the ribs, you're knitting the front ribs to the hip creases while keeping your chest open. I know that's hard. Squeeze the block, take a breath, do your best. Exhale, lower any amount. Inhale, lift back up. Should maybe feel your core a little bit more. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Come all the way up. Right? Take the feet to center, hip distance apart. And then take your hands back behind you with the fingers out. With the fingers out, bend your elbows just a little bit and puff your chest 2 times. Inhale, lift your hips up. Try not to lock the elbows. Exhale, lower the hips 2 inches. I'm not locking the elbows. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hover. And then lower all the way down. Bring your blanket, rolled up blanket back over. Have your strap close by. And then come to seated on your prop, on your blanket. Or if you have a pillow, you can sit there too. Okay, bring your left leg in front of the right leg into a boxy shape instead of having the ankles crossed right in front of each other. So you're walking them out a little bit more. Okay, and then just walk forward and fold over the legs. Relax your jaw. Notice where you feel this in your hips. Is it more outer hip or inner thigh? One more breath. Walk your hands back. Switch the cross of your legs. So you'll just have the other leg in the front. And then adjust so that it's going to feel a little awkward, I think, but just adjust enough that it feels comfortable. If the knees are bothering you, you can put something under the knees. Okay. Walk your hands forward any amount. Relax your tongue, your throat, and your jaw, observing and noticing if this side feels different than the first side. Just having this other leg in the front, do you notice it? Is it different? Is it similar? What do you notice? Maybe the awareness comes from noticing a part of your body that feels like you're just like tightening and you can't relax. Right, walk back, and come into a comfortable cross-leg seated position. So if the last one was comfortable, stay there, or bring the ankles one in front of the other. And grab your strap. One more time. Take your arms out into like a V shape. Tug on the strap and then lift your arms overhead. If you're already trying to bend your elbows a lot, take your hands wider. Tug on the strap and turn your knuckles out. Deep breath in. Now, as you exhale, reach the arms back. This is maybe where the elbows might start to bend, so take the hands wider if that's the case. So feeling the stretch in the pecs without over-efforting through using the muscles of your arms to get you into this. Inhale, lift the hands overhead. Exhale, pull back, opening the chest. Now, the last thing to consider is to keep your head stationary. Inhale, lift up. Try not to jet your chin forward or tuck the chin. Exhale, pull the hands back. Now, inhale, bring your hands back up. And when you exhale, start to lean to the right and bend your left elbow and place your right hand on the floor. Now, if your left elbow's not bent a lot, walk it down a little bit more until maybe your left forearm is more parallel to the floor. Tug, turn your chest to the sky, take a breath. Straighten your left arm where it starts to reach more to the right overhead. One more breath there. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, let's do the other side. Hands might be in a good place. You might have to adjust them. Because remember, it's different sides, so different things might show up. There might be a different truth on one side. And you might have to, it might show up in having to adjust because it just doesn't feel right to do the same variation here. Right? Tug on the strap, turn your chest to the sky, look up. Deep breath, just like the beginning. If you need to exhale through your mouth here, do it. Extend the right arm to the left, so deeper side stretch. One more breath. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, take the hands wider and back. Inhale, float the hands up. And as you exhale, take the arms down and you can put the strap to the side. One last thing, freedom now. Inhale, reach the hands out from the strap. Twist to the left when you exhale. Inhale, reach the hands back up. Look up if it's okay for your neck. Exhale, twist to the right as you exhale. Inhale, reach up. Slide your hands to your heart as you exhale. And just take a moment with your hands at your heart, in your lap, in stillness, to notice your breath, to connect to the part of yourself that can observe the breath, that can observe your deepest truths. What is your deepest truth telling you in this moment? What is your deepest truth telling you in this moment about any particular thing that is happening in your life? maybe continue to listen. And take a few moments here in meditation or lying down in Shavasana for a few moments. Thank you so much for practicing with me this Sunday, and I hope to see you next Sunday on Sundays with Amber. Please check out my website, sundayswithamber.com, for live stream classes I offer and hour-long videos and recordings I offer on Vimeo.